What's up guys, this is Rise and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showcasing you my signature team and a team that actually managed to beat one of the best players in the world in Ventuski, which you're going to see in this first matchup. This team has done me wonders since Season 1, and I'm going to be showcasing you this team in a couple of videos. So we see we're matched up against Ventuski. He's one of the best trainers in the world on both Sylph and GBL. Really tough trainer that really knows his stuff and is going to be tough for anyone to beat. So I see that right away and I'm like, okay, a little fire in my belly. Let's show him what we got. Let's try and win this matchup. We have this opening matchup, Wigglytuff and Deoxys. And he decides to let that play rough go through, so we win switch advantage, which essentially, based on team comp, won us this game, which you'll see. So he sends in a Azumarill. We're just going to do some chip damage with Charm because we have a great response for Azu in our Lantern. And this is exactly the makeup this team is dreamed of. They send in an Umbreon Dark type, and we have a Toxicroak to counter. And basically, I was so happy after that because we made Ventuski with this team. We made Ventuski one of the top trainers in the world surrender to this team. This is kind of like my signature team because Wigglytuff with a shield, while committing shields, Wigglytuff has a great lead against pretty much anything. It can be pretty much anything in the 2 shield. You're gonna have to be careful because you don't want to go down multiple shields. But we see in this second matchup, they swap in a Hypno. We're gonna do some chip damage with Wigglytuff, and we're gonna use our charge move because we wanna come out of this next matchup on top. We're gonna then, unfortunately, we were a little slow, so Hypno's gonna hit Wiggly with a charge move, a Thunder Punch. But this is great. I decided just to stay in here now because now we get the Hypno out of the way for the Toxicroak. So that's amazing for us. And this way, if they send in Meganium, which they do, we can send in our Toxicroak and Lantern can avoid that Meganium, which it would really struggle against. So we're gonna commit a shield, even though we know it's probably a Frenzy Plant. Then they send in Azu and we have a Lantern. So this is amazing. Look at this. They're up 2 shields. Do you think we can still come out on top? See, if I was them, I likely would have just committed both shields to Meganium. I think that was the only possible play. I'm not sure why they're going for Ice Beam either. Hydro Pump would be the way to go if they're running Ice Beam Hydro Pump. But they hit us with double Ice Beams. They're not going to do very much to Lantern. We over farm in case they swap out. We have some energy to use against Meganium. We get both shields, and because we over farmed, we have a Thunderbolt ready for Meganium. And then I assume we're gonna swap directly into Toxie. We do, and Toxicroak can just counter down. And now we decided just to go for the Mud Bomb because we don't want Toxicroak getting hit with a charge move. And this way, even if Azu takes out Toxicroak, Lantern can just spark down for the win. So you've seen in both of these first 2 games just how crucial switch advantage was, because if we had lost switch advantage and Lantern got caught up against Meganium and Toxicroak got caught up against Hypno, we would have been done for. So good games there. I just love Wigglytuff as the lead. It's gonna struggle against Registeel or any Steel type, which we will see some matchups like that. But like Umbreon, Shiftry, which we see here, Altaria, there's so many great lead matchups it has. So we get a good one against the Shiftry. Now we go into Lantern, and I might have made a mistake if it was this one that I'm thinking of. No, we're in good shape here. If they let a Thunderbolt go through, it puts you in a great position because then you can just spark down and you have a Thunderbolt ready for whatever the next Pokemon is that comes in. So I assume they're gonna bring Shiftry back. They do. I go for Thunderbolt instead of Hydro Pump. This way I can get 2 off most likely. And Shiftry is so glassy that 2 Thunderbolts would get pretty close to taking it out. So they commit a shield. Then I send in Wiggly. They switch out just in time, so perhaps a mistake on my part. But now that I know they have very low health, on their Toxie or their Shiftry and a Registeel in back, I don't commit a shield. I basically just sack my Wigglytuff. I bring in Lantern because it's going to force Registeel to use up its energy. And if they use a Flash Cannon, my Lantern would survive that, but you choose the correct move. And now I have 2 shields with my Toxicroak against a Reggie and a Shiftry. So you see how essentially just letting my Wigglytuff get one shot and not using a shield is going to allow me to win this game. And I'm not going to shield this from Shiftry just in case somehow the Registeel got to another charge move, because I know Leaf Blade and Foul Play will not take out my Toxicroak. If they had a Hurricane, that would have been really bad. So I gambled and assumed they weren't running Hurricane on their Shiftry. I have actually lost a game like that before, though, where I didn't commit a shield on my Toxicroak, and it was a Hurricane that a Shiftry hit me with. So that has happened. So let's see. We get a horrible lead here. How are we going to recover? We're going to do some charms and try and catch a charge move with our Lantern, but we fail at that too. They send in a Mew. Okay. So if this Mew has Grass Knot, which I assume it does since they switched it in, it's going to be able to beat us. We're going to let it go through anyway. They're over farming a ton. So we get to another Thunderbolt. They're over farming so much, I'm starting to suspect they're going to hit us with multiple wild charges. I let it go anyway, just in case they try and bait me. I let the first one go through. What do I decide to do here? I let both go through, and that way I can just charm down. And do I commit a shield here? I don't. Wigglytuff just barely holds on, and I'm putting in my Toxicroak, and I'm going to use a shield here because I know Flash Cannon will do a ton of damage, and I'm essentially putting all my faith in this Toxicroak with 2 shields, like we sort of did last game. And because they're not switching out of Registeel, it tells me they have something weakened back to Toxicroak. They get off another Flash Cannon, which isn't good. Now we're going to be shieldless against whatever they have in back. Let's see what it is. And it's an Azu, so really perplexing as to why they stayed in. We hit him with a Sludge Bomb. We're going to go for this Mud Bomb. Hopefully we can get there. We get to the Mud Bomb. I can't even remember. They were out of shields, so luckily we beat it to the Mud Bomb, and then we can just counter down the Registeel, and you see Registeel fall on its back at the end. So good games there. Toxicroak putting in work. All 3 of these Pokemon have so much value to this team. Wigglytuff is amazing for so many leads. Toxicroak can just flat out sweep teams when it has a shield advantage. And Lantern is really like a specialist against Skarmory and Registeel. So I see a Haunter. We have to be careful of the Sludge Bomb. They switch out. I'm going to just try and rack up some charm damage. I'm going to let this go. We're going to use our charge move because our charge moves would probably get shielded by the Haunter, so we let it go through. We probably could have stayed in there, but this way we're going to allow our Wigglytuff to be able to match up against the Haunter in the future, assuming Haunter comes in trying to take out our Lantern. We're awaiting what comes back. It is the Haunter. There's an attack incoming. We're going to let this go because we have faith in our Wigglytuff, and it's just a Shadow Punch. So this allows us to get off our charge move, which will likely draw a shield. You have to shield Haunter. Most charge moves are going to one-shot it. And they decide to use their energy, which is great. It would have been close. They might have actually been able to farm us down. I'm not sure. We send back in Wiggly. They switch right away into Azu. So Toxie with a shield advantage. We go straight for the Sludge Bomb because I know they just have 1 shield, and they probably didn't want to use it. They were probably expecting the bait. So then we're just going to shield this no matter what, and we're likely going to be able to counter down and draw their last shield with a Mud Bomb. Do I decide to shield this? I don't, because I knew it was an Ice Beam. Oh, could this have cost me, though? We survived with 1 HP. Chris, you're being super risky here. man. But because I was able to get off the mud ball, I draw the last shield, and Wigglytuff is just able to charge down. No shield necessary. So that was set number 1. Thank you guys for watching. This is my signature team that got me all the way to rank 58 in the world. I highly recommend trying it out. It does have its weaknesses like any team. It's going to be weak to a steel attacker, a little bit weak to grass in the back, a little bit weak to hypno in the back. But overall, it has been a team that I've had wild success with, and I encourage you to give it a shot if you like. Make sure if you enjoyed this video that you hit the like button down below, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and share this content with your friends. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna start posting videos every night at about midnight Central US time. And with that said, everyone, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.